It's not Memorex, it's live. Some people say I'm too young to know that. What do you think, Pam?
No, not too young for that.
I was going to say, both of us know that one pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, as you guys might see, poor Miss Annie has food poisoning, so she is not going to be with us tonight. We have the wonderful Pam filling in for her.
Hi.
And we got some great news that we'll be bringing in for you, as well as talking about guests. We have, if you're joining us on the wonderful YouTube, you will see there is a question in there that we are going to be talking about tonight as well, which is, what do you call a shadow person? I actually came across this question because there was a lot of people who have issues with it, and one of the videos we're going to see tonight, we're going to talk about, but is it a shadow person or is it something else? So I guess the best thing to do is we're going to jump right into this, because I want to talk about the wonderful lady who filmed it, because she's brave, and I'll explain why in a moment. But she literally went to chase whatever it was. Now, I watched the video several times, and there was things that stood out to me, but something caught my attention. And in this video, you're going to find it's going to kind of point out another thing. So let's take a look and see what's in the video. This comes from, this was sent in, believe it or not, by somebody else who saw it, but I was able to find the individual and contact them. So thank you. And so we're going to talk about her. Her name is Maddie. And I'll be honest, she's brave. She is a very brave individual to want to go and chase this thing down. But we're reaching out to her, and we're going to try to get some answers from her on what happened, what was going on. Because my guess is, here, let's go ahead and pull that off for a second. My guess here is that this has been an issue for a long time. Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, you remember how I was at the other house. At a certain point, you're like, oh no, I'm done with this. I'm going to find out what it is.
Right.
And that's pretty much what I believe she did. So we're going to put this in here. We're going to give you the whole thing. And
where the f*** did it go? What the Hello? Is anyone there? Oh my God. Thought I heard those noises again.
I heard them last night. Now, on first viewing, Maddie didn't notice anything out of the ordinary in the video. But after rewatching the footage, she noticed this.
Ooh.
Some strange creature seems to duck behind a tree as Maddie's camera light passes by. So, what do you think this is? Is this some mysterious creature?
So, as you can see, there's something that ducks behind a tree, but that's not what I uncovered.
Yards of suburban.
Hey, go away. Okay. What I uncovered was a little different, because if you remember, it's panning, right?
Mhm.
She's literally looking. Now, what I didn't put in there for you because the length of the video was really long. So what I didn't put in was she's literally standing. I think at a window, and you can kind of see maybe the roof. So she might be on a second story, and so you can kind of see like a patio cover. But
Right.
with the camera, you hear this growl sound. Now, as I said before, me personally, if I heard a growl, I'm not running out. But it was
Right.
enough to get her to want to start investigating. And she did. She went, as you can see, she ran out and did that. And my move tool, there we go. Nope, it's not letting me move this. Okay. So it opened in Paint. It's a picture, and I didn't want it opened in Paint, but unfortunately it did. So we're going to share screens and show you right here that image. So what you see is when she's panning through the bushes, right there, right above the red. Can you, oops.
Oop.
Can you see it right there?
Yeah.
It's an image of something, and I've played the video back and forth quite a few times to see if there was a window for a reflection,
Right.
but I didn't quite see it. So this is one of those things I really look forward to. Did she have it? No, she did. I don't think she had a dog with her, Evie.
No, I don't think she did.
Yeah. Oh, so I did get the growl in there. Okay. Can I zoom in a bit? I can. There's a problem, though, in doing so. It doesn't go where I want it to go. Oh, hey, look. That's the best we can render it.
Kind of looks like a man.
See, that's what I was thinking, with a hat on or something.
Uh-huh.
And so it's hard to tell, hard to determine exactly. And this is, mind you, this is from the video itself. It's somewhat pixelated if you're seeing it as we zoom in on it.
Right.
But this was one of the first things that stood out to me. Okay? And then you saw in the video, you saw the shadow.
Right. That's the one I first saw.
Right. This is one of those things that, this is why we talk about the shadow people. Because a lot of people have had experiences with them, and certain things happen, and they get, they can go anywhere from being scary to just annoying.
Yeah.
But I've never in my life heard one growl. And so when in the video, you hear the growl, and she quickly runs downstairs to see it. And you can see all that damage as the video was going. I'll play it again. But you can see all the damage that was in her front yard. Yeah, I mean, something obviously caused this damage. Watch, she comes around the bush.
Go?
I mean, yeah, you can hear her breathing heavy because she went downstairs. Look at this.
Right.
There's pots thrown, and obviously there's branch right there. You know that.
Right. Oh my God.
So here, see it? Right there.
Right there.
So I don't see a window there. But again, until we get a chance to talk with her, which we have invited her to join us on the show, so we can talk more about this and see if she has any other evidence that's come up with along with it, because I'm kind of curious as to what it might be, and maybe through other evidence we can find out. But as she continues panning around, did you see it right there? Poking its head out and then pulls back.
Right.
And of course, I think that's her. Well, okay, Evie, when Evie asked the question if it was a reflective surface. This is one of those things where when we get a chance to talk with Miss Maddie, we'll be able to find out. Because I really love to know. Yeah, it's the same thing. See, Evie says the same thing, that she's curious what she saw to make her go down. And personally, I'd be the same way at a certain point. So, and you can hear, like I said, she's out of breath. Poor thing had to run downstairs to get out there and figure out what's going on. So, yeah, I don't blame her one bit for being to that point. And one thing we always say, paranormal investigators will always tell you, don't give in to the fear. When you give in to the fear, you allow something like this to actually kind of, I don't want to say get stronger, but it'll kind of grow on you to, build on your fear, because you're like, every little thing starts to freak you out. You don't want to do that. Okay. So this is why we put the question in, what do you call a shadow person? So please make your comments below and let us know. And for those wonderful people who want to send more videos or pictures in, you can do that at, obviously, Pairanormal Radio. The way we spell it is pair, like a pair of shoes, a normal, radio at gmail.com. We chose that one because we can get bigger files there. So, and we'll have more coming in for that, and that'll be a pretty awesome thing. Wait, what do you mean by my feeding phenomenon? Because if you're talking about food, yeah, I can go there.
I think anybody can go there.
Right? I'm really good at doing that. So tonight, we're kind of going into a crypto, I'd say a crypto field for the night. If you want to add shadow people theories in the comment section, you're more than welcome to. But before I do that, I do want to take a moment out and thank a lot of new people who have liked Paranormal on the Facebook page. There's a lot of wonderful people who have done so. And so we're throwing out a special thank you to you guys, for doing so. And I'm scrolling down, so bear with me a moment, because sometimes I have all the names right there, but I have so much stuff that's popped up since then. And I'm not finding it. Oh, here we go. So Don Marie Couch, Dee Dee Wood, and others, we thank you guys for joining us and following us on Facebook. If you want to, tell all your friends and others about us to give us a like, and maybe they want to share some wonderful information with us as well. All right. What's next? Well, I'm worried about this one because I'm going to try to share it with our Bigfoot expert as well, because I'm not, he's good at the noises and he understands certain noises for that.
Right.
The video we're about to share was filmed, and so if you do not have earbuds on, there's a chance you might not hear it. So you might have to watch it again or crank up the volume or what have you, okay? Because it's one of those ones where you need to hear this sound. So when you're in a wooded area or an area you're not familiar with, pretty much any noise gets your attention, right? Yeah. So you turn, you're looking. Well, nowadays, it's even more impressive when somebody picks up their camera or their cell phone and says, I'm going to take a video of this. And this is what we get. Remember, you might need earbuds.
Scary.
Let's go back inside.
So, I know some people might not hear it if you don't have headphones on. And obviously, Pam, you've heard it.
Mm-hmm.
What they didn't see was... What the heck? Okay, that's new.
Yeah.
What they didn't see was your facial reaction as soon as you heard it.
Yeah.
So what did you think you heard?
Lots of yelling.
Well,
It sounded to me like a yell.
and it's possible. It possibly was. I heard howling. So I actually, at first, my first thought when I listened to it through headphones was that it was like a pack of wolves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're hearing. Again, it's going to be one of those things that only somebody who's familiar with the sound can
Understand
What-
it.
Okay, Jason, you might be right. It could be an elk.
No, that
I've
doesn't.
never, that's one thing moose. I know moose make a very weird noise, and I didn't bring up a video to see if that matches, but it could be. It's a very high possibility.
Right.
I guess, like I said, people who are familiar with the sounds, they're going to be able to pick it, and they're going to say, yes, that's what that was.
Mhm.
This is the area that this all falls under, is the cryptozoology, because a lot of people, when it's some kind of animal or something that we can't explain, you get something, in that area.
Right.
So, what if you found a sighting of, going back to the snow, of Bigfoot?
Probably freak out and go inside the house.
Right? Well, if you're on a bus tour, would you get off the bus and try to take a video of it?
I don't know. That's kind of iffy.
Okay, well, let's do this first. Jason does say, and I know he's an avid hunter, he says that elk, deer, and moose have about the same types of vocal cords and can change pitch and tone. So that would kind of go with EV's comment of multitonal.
Right.
So, I don't know. But back to the Bigfoot question, if you would get off the bus and go take the picture, or video. Well, apparently these guys did. And this is what we get. This is what they saw when they stopped the bus.
Holy hell.
Now, all these people are looking at it, and they see it. Now, here's the problem. It took me a while to look for it. It's in the tree line, and they're going to zoom in on it here in a moment. But my thing is you don't know what it is. Why the heck are you walking up on it and aggravating it?
Right. Stay in the bus would be a safer bet.
See, this is how close he is to them.
Holy hell.
What's he doing?
Yeah, I would have stayed in the bus to take the picture. and take the video.
Now, I'm going to pause it right. Oh, let me back it just a hair. I want you guys to notice something. The stance. That's a human stance, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
See, I think that what we're looking at is possibly somebody in a suit.
Right.
But we can't confirm that because they're catching a video and they saw this thing walking. So it made them stop the bus. And now they're looking at this. So you're seeing this image of something there. And that ain't small. That's actually pretty tall. Easily 8 feet tall. Easily. And it's doing something to the trees. Are we seeing a video of Bigfoot?
Quite possible. Never know.
So we go with the wonderful question to the show. What was that?
Mm-hmm. Because if it was, let's say, 8 foot tall, that had to have been at least a person and a half.
Oh, yeah. I mean, world's tallest man, I believe, has passed, but wasn't he like 7 foot something?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you recall, we've talked with some of our Bigfoot experts, from Jody Cook to J.C. Johnson to Jack Carey. We've talked to these experts in the past, and they have actually told us that the Bigfoot they've ever seen easily were 8 foot or higher.
Oh, wow.
So who knows?
Right.
But I mean, what I love is just right when the video starts,
you see the image.
Well, you see it walking away.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not, I don't know. Is it a person? What is it? You know, we're looking at this. I wish I could zoom this part in. Right. I have been working to get that in there. So Jason says that if you want to hear some freaky sounds that wild animals make, listen to a bobcat scream. Oh, you are correct. I have heard a bobcat scream, and that scares the snot out of you.
Right.
But he said scared crap out of him the first time he heard it in one of his tree stands. And yeah, I have heard them before. And Evie mentions the walk, the gait is humanoid. But the thing is there's a lot of people who believe Bigfoot is a humanoid individual type. Yeah. So what was it? What was that?
Who knows?
Well, let me pull up this one. Now, this one here, these guys were doing some looking in their backyard or camping or doing something around the fire, and the gentleman's going to explain what's going on. And I want you to pay attention to something, and there'll be a little clip at the end that kind of tells you to look at something else. But listen carefully, okay? Because this is going to be another one of those, what was that? And I'm glad Jason's listening because he can tell us, was that a bobcat?
So I'm up at the ridge line right now, about where the fence is at. And so behind this fence over here, there's a wood line. It's about 9:48 in the night. So we just heard a scream a little bit ago. I don't know if you can see past this, but so behind this, where I'm pointing right now, there's a forest back there, and that's a pretty big forest. It's a state park. So there's nothing that's back there, and it's protected. So I don't know. But we're back here, and there's this fence right here that protects my friend's yard, where we're at right now. And from that, I don't know what you'd call this, but there's a pasture right here with a bunch of trees. You can't really see them. I don't know if you can see that tree or not. Can you see that tree right there? That fern right there? That's a fern, and then there's a bunch of other ferns all around. And then it gets more dense as you go back. But what happens is this creature comes up against these this fence, and it jumps this fence. And it was standing, we think, right in this where I'm standing right now. And my friend's inside right now, but I'm getting this footage. And did you just hear that? That was it. Oh. Guess I'm out. This.
So did Dylan catch the howl of a mythical skinwalker or some other creature? Is the video a hoax? Or could this just be some other strange animal lurking in the forest? One thing to note is this odd light in the trees that seems to jump to the ground just as the bizarre howl is heard.
And did you just hear that?
Some YouTube viewers have suggested that this looks like a strange glowing eye. But what do you think?
So, question.
Don't go in those woods. Just saying. Especially at night.
My favorite comment for the night, right there. Fence protects? Right. Should have put a question mark at the end of that.
Right?
Now, in the video for that, they claim that it was a skinwalker or something, that because they saw something standing.
Right.
That's what got their attention. They went inside. The guy came back. That one guy came back out, and he was filming. Now, I do see he focused in on that fern at one point, which let's see if we can pull it up and look at it. He focuses in on this fern at one point, and you could almost see it very clear. See right there?
Oh, wow.
So the light's on it, and you can see the fern in the background, and that particular dot, that little light in the tree is still there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this video would give you some... Yeah, that sound does curdle the blood. Interesting. Okay. The part that really gets me is there was another sound afterwards. Listen a little bit careful, because there's like a second sound which I thought would have been more of a moose or something.
You see that tree right there, that fern right there? That's a fern, and then there's a bunch of other ferns all around. And it gets more dense as you go back. But what happens is this creature comes up against this fence, and it jumps this fence. And it was standing, we think, right in this where I'm standing right now. And my friend's inside right now, but I'm getting this footage. And did you just hear that? That was it. Oh.
So if you heard those four noises afterwards,
right,
that's the one that got my curiosity. Now, to me, that's what I would believe an elk would be doing.
Right.
But that screech sound, I almost would have to say, like Jason said earlier, that's pretty close to what it sounds like when a bobcat screeches. Did it see an elk and got ready to go have dinner?
No. Goodness.
Yeah, see, this is one of those ones where... So, have I given you chills yet?
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, then I guess that means, do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is this time.
Uh-oh. You had to do the Scooby-Doo.
That's it. So, fight or flight time. I have this video that was sent in, and it's one of those ones where, do you think you have the worst job in the world?
I feel like I do, yes.
Yeah, you might love your job after this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So a city worker is sent down into the sewers, and he's got to do some work down there, and something gets his attention. Something that gets picked up on his camera. Oh, yeah. So he's in the sewer. He's looking around. He stops because he hears something.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Did you catch that? Let me get you another view of that.
What the hell? I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
Fight or flight time. This guy was brave. Now, the video never continues around the corner, sadly. But, yeah. What the heck is peering out at this guy?
That,
I mean, it's brave enough to step out, okay?
yeah.
I'm sorry. If something like that steps out on me, I'm not walking towards it.
No, you're going to see me disappear.
Yes, this would be one of those Scooby-Doo moments.
Because it looks like it's taller than the guy, and you don't know if it's a living being or a dead being.
So fight or flight?
I'd be flight. I would not be fighting it.
No, me neither. I'd be gone. What about you viewers? Would you fight or flight? Because, I mean, you see something like that peer around the corner.
Yeah, that's kind of sketchy there, because you don't know if he's going to get mugged or possessed.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I would even want to know possession in this particular case.
Exactly.
So Evie says if it was her by herself, she would run. If it was with people, she would stay. Moon says, run.
Yep.
Yeah. And she points out, really good point, you can see an arm and a leg. Let's go ahead and play this again for those who might just be tuning in, because this is what we really. And by the way, kick troll in the face, YouTube, thank you for this, because you're really seeing something here that. Now, I wonder when it first peers around the corner if this guy started to go that direction, and then as soon as he sees it, stops.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at this. It's brave. It steps out.
Yeah, and you can see the arm and a leg.
Yeah. And it moves fast.
Yeah, and part of its torso. So, yeah, I'd be running.
So, okay, my friends out there that are video experts and stuff, I paused it here so we can look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a form of like photoshopping in a video?
Ooh.
Or do you feel this is legit? I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
Or what was that? Because as Evie points out, it was hunched over.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason's comment.
Of course Jason would say something like that.
So, yeah, there you go. That was the fight or flight moment. And if you haven't gotten any kind of chills yet, you need to check your pulse.
Right.
Let me tell you guys, now I've got more on this, but let's start with the first one. Next week, we are talking more crypto, but in a different manner, because we will have one of our Bigfoot experts, Jack Carey, on with us. We're going to show him some of the video that we have on the Bigfoot sightings and stuff and get his opinion. We're going to talk about that and Skinwalkers, because Skinwalker Ranch is starting to get another boom, so to say.
Really?
A lot of people are talking about it, and sorry about that. That was another run moment. I saw a video, and I cannot get that video back. It was somebody had, their cell phone, and they were filming it, and it was on Skinwalker Ranch.
Really?
This thing, I don't know what to describe it as, but it literally picked up on, looked human-like in a sense, got up on all fours, and so, and it was pretty clear video, and I've been trying to get it back. But Jack and I have talked in the past about Skinwalkers and Skinwalker Ranch, so this is going to be a fun conversation next week, and of course we'll have Miss Annie back on that. But guys, you are missing out on some amazing conversations. I do have 2 other guests to fill in the rest of the month, and I'll tell you who those are here in a little bit.
Suspense.
Yes, I know. So, what's your view on going to a cemetery?
If it's daylight, I'm okay with it, but if it's dark, no. I'm going to leave that to other people.
So daylight. Let's talk about visiting the cemetery in the daylight.
You would.
So here's a guy who takes a video. I'm going to start it over. He's going through filming in this, and did anything catch your attention? No? Okay. Well, after he filmed this, he went back and saw something. And he's going to slow it down for you here in a moment so you can see it again. See?
That's what I thought I see.
Now here's where it gets really creepy. So that's behind, and you can still see its arm behind that tombstone.
Uh-huh.
So now, would you want to go to a cemetery, especially like this, in the daytime, to have something like this checking you out?
No, thank you.
Now,
I think I'll stay away from the cemeteries now.
So here's the thing. Some people are actually going, yeah. Okay, Jason, I love that comment. Groot.
You'd probably get up and hug you.
Right? Some people are actually talking about this particular video, and some have said that they believe it's alien, like the Greys or what have you.
Yeah.
This would be probably one of the most solid videos. If you can zoom in on it, give it a lot more clarity, then yes, this would be a very solid video to give us an idea. What the heck are we looking at? What was that? What did this guy capture on video that you're just like, it's
Right.
So yeah,
it does look alien because it's got the long head.
Yeah. Okay, so Evie thinks that it's she says the face isn't moving, could be a guy in a mask.
Yeah.
Is a very thin guy, if that's the case.
Right.
Very thin. I'll tell you what I first thought when I saw it. Somebody had a one of those skeletons you can buy. That's all like the Halloween decorations, and
Right.
put it there in that nice wind. But here's the thing:
It's not windy.
Look at the greenery as it's playing. None of the greenery is moving. So
Yeah, and none of the trees are moving.
right. So if it was the wind blowing it, even at this point, it would still be moved out.
Right.
And Evie points out another good moment is that she states that the arms don't bend or have no bend in them. But then again, I have to say that could be a camera angle.
Yeah.
There's really hard to say. There's a lot of potential of what this could and couldn't be.
Right.
Again, though, I probably, if I saw it when I was filming, I would have walked up to it. 'Cause I would want to know that one. That's not a run. I would check it out. What would you do?
I'd probably stand back to get a better view of it on camera.
I got a feeling you'd send your husband up to it.
Yeah, to see if it would hurt him.
Let me know
Yeah.
if it's okay.
Right? He'd be the guinea pig.
Right? The question is, do you guys think, aliens exist? I mean, why would they come and just like, hello? My biggest question is, why is he visiting the cemetery if it's an alien?
Right.
I don't know.
Could have another partner that is in there.
True. All right, we got two more creatures we'll throw up here.
Okay.
This next one, I'm trying to remember. Oh, this is a group in Sweden, and they caught something. What they caught on camera, something I want to know what you guys think.
Comes to us from Holland. A group of friends are exploring a park and decide to visit some watchtowers from World War II. The towers are closed for vandalism and it looks like their trip is over. Little did they know they were about to see something much more interesting than a cluster of abandoned towers could ever be.
Kerel, dat is echt je wilde zwijn hoor.
What the hell?
What the fuck is that? Hey! Kerel, hey!
A large black figure is observing their movements from somewhere in the distance. It looks like it is trying to hide behind a tree, which shows that it has some level of intelligence, but it does a poor job and gets spotted immediately. They began shouting for the humanoid to come out. Suddenly, a series of banging noises fills the forest and sends them running. When one of them enhances the camera footage, this is what they find glaring at them.
What do you think? What was that?
A shadow person? Yeah, I don't know. But it's creepy.
I'm thinking, you look at the tree. Yeah, see, I thought the same thing, Jason. Jason says bear. I'm thinking the same thing, but there's a problem with this. One or two problems that I can think of. First, if it is a bear, it's got to be a little bear, I'm thinking.
Right.
Yeah, he just wants a hug. But I'm thinking it's a baby bear because it's not big. It's probably climbing the tree. That's my first thought. If it is something else, this is almost like a cartoon situation where the tree is your cutoff point. You just kind of disappeared. What the hell?
Oh, yeah, I see.
So you should be seeing something on the back part of the tree if it's that big.
Right.
When it pulls back behind the tree, I don't see anything on that side either. So
right.
If it's a bear, my guess, if it's a bear, it's a baby bear.
Yeah, and wouldn't it show all of itself while it's climbing? Because it's seeing where it's climbing to?
look at the size of the tree. I mean, that's a pretty decent sized tree.
Right.
And if it is a baby bear, you know, he's just probably got a good grip. He's like, yeah, these people are making noises. Oh, okay. You know.
Right, true. Because sometimes you see animals like a bear climbing a tree, they always tend to show their whole body.
Right. Well, Jason brings up another good point. This is Sweden. Our bear, and then of course Sarah asked the same question. Are bears native to Sweden?
Good question. Called Google.
Yes. Okay, what kind of bears are there in Sweden? The bears which inhabit the forest and mountains of Sweden are brown bears.
Oh, and this is a black blob.
Well, you gotta understand, brown, you know, even though it says it's a brown, you know, it's the brown bears, they do, yeah, you can see a bit of the yellow in the snout. Exactly, Evie. And brown bears, some of them do have a darker tint, especially at a distance like that. I'm sure
Right.
gotta have that. But, you know, brown bears are not as
common.
Well, I don't think they attack as much as, you know, grizzlies are commonly known for the fact that, and in this case, they don't have camping areas, so they're not going to scrounge for food like you would,
Right.
you know, in where most common bear attacks happen in campgrounds, you know. So
Like Jason does.
right, exactly. So let's talk about the last two guests, and I've got another video for you guys.
Okay.
The last two guests that we have for the month will be on the 23rd. We have Kevin Kane coming back, the man with the haunted dolls. But wait, he gets better because Kevin acquired a famous haunted doll. A famous haunted doll. It's let me rephrase it. It's a celebrity haunted doll. Yes, it has been featured in the Ghost of the Battlefield and Ghost Nation on Travel Channel.
Really? It's
Yes.
not Annabelle, is it?
No, God, no. I hope not. Poor guy.
That's the only one I can remember.
Right? No, I think if I recall right, John Zaffis has Annabelle now, but I could be wrong. I can't remember who has Annabelle now.
I can't remember either.
I'd have to, you know, do some research, but yeah, that's the last I heard about it is that John had it. All right, and on the 30th, last day of the month, we will have NASA rocket scientist Stephanie Osborne with us, and we're going to be talking about that Ibanez. If you remember, we wanted to get some insight on it, so we're going to get some insight. We're going to get the scientific insight on it, and see, you know, I mean, being that she worked with NASA and everything, what could she have uncovered that could maybe tell us a little bit more on what these things are.
Right.
I mean, there's some good questions out there.
Interesting.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. And then we have guests lining up for the following month, so we'll be talking about them as well, including a paranormal investigator who has quite a bit of information and some, you know, hopefully Miss Maddie will get back with us. I mean, we just started communicating today, so I know it'll take some time, but when she does, we're going to invite her on and we'll talk about what's been going on and see what we can do for her as well.
Sweet.
All right. I want to know what you would think if you saw something that made the news.
Oh.
So
What?
watch carefully here. These workers they're out there. I guess they're like on a break, and they see something moving. Catches their
I see it.
attention.
What the hell?
Now
is it?
this thing is not tiny, folks,
No.
and it just disappears behind that bush.
Right. But it looks like it's as tall as that tree that's beside that bush.
Right. Well, my first thought was some kind of primate, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's really hard to tell because, this is really grainy video.
Yeah.
Good question, Evie. I want you to save that one for Miss Stephanie. Because, I won't even put that one up because
Yeah.
I want people to be surprised when they see that.
Right.
So, what do you think we're looking at here? What was that? What did they see that's walking here? Now, this made the news in this area. So I did what I could to block out as much as the
Right.
but
It kind of looks like a primate, but I don't know. There's something. I know it's got longer legs and longer arms than a primate, and it's walking upright.
yeah, well, and the other part about this is I don't think I've ever seen a primate like that big.
Yeah. That's another thing. I don't.
Interesting. Okay, so Evie says that it might be fake. The light doesn't change on the back. So we're going to add this back here. We're going to start it over, Evie, because you really got my
Attention.
now. Yeah, let's take a look. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's where I don't see much for shading in there in the first place.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's definitely not fake because it has a shadow.
Yeah, it does.
Look down at the feet as it's walking. We're going to make a pause here. So you can see the shadow, and you can see. Oh man.
Yeah.
Sorry, the video is so quick. Okay, so you can see the shadow. You can see it fold over the rocks and everything.
Mhm.
And so it has a shadow.
Oh yeah.
And shadowing like that tells me it's actually there. It's actually moving. And the reason is because you see it fold up on the rock and then come back down. And
Right.
so if somebody's doing
I'm kind of wondering if it might be a Halloween suit of some type.
could be. There's a lot. So this is why we titled the show this way, is what was that?
Right.
What was that?
Yeah. You guys tell us what it was because we have no clue.
Yeah, we get some interesting stuff in that people throw at us, and that it does make you
Wonder what's out there.
yeah. So we got about a little bit of time left, and I wanted to save the best for last.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This is a group of Hispanic people. They're kind of like alien chasers, so to say, because they've been following reports and stuff. And the guy never actually had the opportunity to come across something that he can film until this video. And you'll hear them, and they're tripping out on it. But let's take a look at what they see, and then you guys tell me what was that, because was it an alien or was it something else?
Grábalo, sí, está caminando, grábalo.
A la mierda, tanto espinitas, es algo así.
Sí,
Me paralizó ahí.
sí, es una persona, es.
It looks like it just got leveled by that
No,
truck.
está caminando.
Está
Yeah.
caminando, el globo estaba caminando.
Estaba caminando, esa verdad.
So, Anthony Choi is the gentleman's name. This is what
Grábalo,
he
sí,
thought.
está caminando.
And we're going to pause it right there so we can talk about it, because
Kind of looks like an apparition that's glow in the dark.
well, what's interesting is as it comes to the truck, it looks like it's about to get hammered by this truck. But
Right.
you can barely see the light of it. It almost like it teleports across the street, because then you can see the light of it over there. At first,
Right.
I was thinking this is some kind of, balloon, that has the lights in it and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But as I look at this closer,
Grábalo.
A la mierda, tanto espinitas, es algo así.
Sí,
Me
I mean,
paralizó
you
ahí.
can see it right there, and then poof, it disappears. But as if you zoom, if you watch, you can actually see very faint lights of it on the other side
Estaba
of the street.
caminando, esa
Oh,
verdad.
wow.
So, this is one of those things. What was that?
All right.
It looks human form in a sense, almost like a child. But I see something else. Right about here, I don't know if it's the light of the truck. We're going to back it up a little bit. If you look to the right-hand side about the middle, it almost looks like a flashlight at one point. Right about there. You see that?
Yeah.
Now, this could be the light of the 18-wheeler coming across. There's a lot of things this potentially could be, but at the same time, if you look at the left side of the blue being, there is a light.
Mm-hmm.
About midway. A jellyfish?
Mm.
Okay, I could go with residual haunting.
Right.
I could go with that. But a jellyfish? I don't think so. I mean, this is on land. We're looking at them.
I
There
think
it
it
is.
might be a haunting of some sort, because maybe a person died there and that's their energy going back to the spot, but you never know.
That's a fair point, Pam. That's a really good point, because if it is, you kind of see it look like it's about to get flattened by that truck, and maybe that is how they died.
Yeah.
And for it, some might say for it to pass on, it has to get to the other side of the street without dying.
Right.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that get hit every day and killed on a road.
Yeah, exactly. Now, he puts that the light source seems independent of the truck. That is very true. That's why I first thought that it was a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to really determine. And again, some people have some great video capabilities on their cell phones.
Right. And there are other people crappy.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. And she's still saying it looks like an interdimensional portal. It's hard to say. This is one of those ones where we'll kind of be left with, what was that?
Right.
I couldn't answer that. But I can answer next week. We have Mr. Jack Carey, who will be joining us. He's a Bigfoot expert, as well as a cryptozoologist. And we're going to talk. We're going to show, we got a video that we're going to share. I think I've shared it with you guys before. I want him to kind of determine what we're looking at, and we're going to be able to get that from him. And we'll get a lot more next week. So join us next week, guys. Don't miss out. And
It'll be fun too.
Yes. And Miss Pam, thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I had fun.
Yeah, now she ain't going to go to sleep.
No.
All right, my friends, you guys have a great night. We'll see you next week.